there's always a hope. Rise and fight.
What's up, everybody? BSL16 Day 4 here. I'm Machine. Joining me today, my partner in crime here, is none other than Nyoken. What's up, Dan? How you doing, man?
Doing good. I'm excited for today's games. Yesterday, I gotta say, Mihu crushed it, man. I think, again, he's the favorite to take it all. His TVP looks unbelievable. It was just insane, especially his games versus Zhanhun yesterday. Just immaculate.
Which I thought was going to be a questionable match to begin with, right? I think Zhanhun's even taken him out in the past. You know, he dropped that series we commentated to Dewalt, and suddenly everyone was wanting to question, including myself, and he's like, nope, I still don't lose to Protoss. That was a fluke. It was, yeah, man. Yesterday was a bunch of very incredible games, and honestly, today is going to be as well. Yeah, we have, honestly, first up, it's going to be Sziky facing off against QiaoGeGe here in an epic Zerg versus Protoss. Sziky, honestly, one of the Zerg favorites, one of the Zerg greats in the scene here. I always love every opportunity I get to watch him play, and he's going to be facing off against another one of the Chinese greats here, QiaoGeGe, with some pretty incredible results here to start things off here. Nyo, can you see that 100% versus Zerg? That's never something you want to see if you're a Zerg player facing off against a Protoss. So, yeah, man, what are your thoughts on this one?
I still like Sziky here, but hey, stats don't lie. If Chow's got a 100% win rate, it's going to be tough. And everybody that watches BSL knows what this screen means. It means our players are ready. So let's get into game one of Qiao versus Sziky.
And spawning at the top left of Vermeer as that blue Protoss, it is QiaoGeGe.
Yep, and yesterday, or in the top right, we've got our Zerg player, Sziky. I was just thinking about Ziky's games yesterday. Did you see Sziky versus XiaoShuai? Those games were pretty sick.
Yeah, I caught parts of them, to be honest with you, but I knew it was going to be pretty close to begin with. They had a good series in the previous BSL, but yeah. Who ended up coming out on top there?
I think it was XiaoShuai that ended up coming out on top, but there were moments where I was like, dude, Ziky's got this. Like, his link control was crazy. Even the casters were talking about how he just always finds the trades. He always is able to make something happen with his aggressive play, but XiaoShuai able to overcome it. And, you know, surprisingly, I think Sziky is kind of on the chopping blocks here. If he loses versus Qiao, he's in trouble of potentially being eliminated. You know, only, what is it, 6 make it into the next round, or 4? I think 2, yeah, 6 make it in the next round. There's only 2 that will get eliminated. But, I mean, Sziky, I think he's close near the bottom, actually.
Yeah, really unfortunate, man, especially from, you know, such a strong competitor, but there is still hope here. He's just got to button it up and win every series from here on out. But yeah, we are seeing a 9 pool to kick things off here out of Sziky. That's honestly been par for the course here with his Zerg versus Protoss. Loves to get after it, as Nyoken was saying, with these early link pressure. And we're already seeing QiaoGeGe not messing around at all. 2 cannons being placed at the natural, and suddenly I don't think this 9 pool should be able to accomplish too much here.
Yeah, he saw those games yesterday, and he saw how deadly Sziky Lings are. He doesn't want to misstep and let, even just one end disrupt the mining. So I like how he does not risk it here, just go for the double cannon. And I like how Sziky sent the Lings across, but now he's going to turn back. Now, did he turn back too quickly? Can he cancel a cannon? No. He is just going to let it complete, which is also fine. But losing that drone, or not drone, losing that probe already could be dangerous because, this is Zerg. They could go something weird like a 2-hatch Hydra play, and Sziky is, he does have that type of killer instinct. He could just bring it to you if you leave him in the, free to do whatever he wants.
Definitely. But we're seeing, I was thinking, why doesn't QiaoGeGe send another probe out immediately? But Sziky's scouring the entire map. He's just so aware of all the potential scouting location probe possibilities here. From QiaoGeGe, and QiaoGeGe just says, you know what, I'm not going to risk the probe, I'm going to maximize my mining. Sziky's too good of a player to really allow me to get away with any more scouting at this point, so kind of an interesting choice, but I think a correct one here out of Qiao.
Yeah, I actually like Qiao just not risking the probe, because of course Sziky, even though he didn't find a probe out on the map, does not mean that there isn't a probe out in the map. He doesn't know that Qiao didn't send out another probe. Like, when you're at this level, you would think like, okay, this guy's definitely hiding a probe, so I want to be in position to catch it. So these Lings, they're just sitting here doing nothing, defending a probe that doesn't exist on the map, and Qiao's getting away with, a little bit extra money from that single probe. We do have our 3rd hatch almost done for Sziky though. The 3rd base is up and running already, but Natural's going to be coming up online in just a second, and Lair kind of just started, so maybe it's around halfway done.
Yeah, I think this is a completely acceptable place to be playing from here for Sziky. With that 3rd hatchery up so quickly here, he's really going to be able to power drones. We see Stargate already started out of QiaoGeGe, as expected, getting right on top of that Corsair tech, and should be looking to scout and eliminate some overlords here shortly.
Yep, and we do have Stargate about, halfway done, 3/4 done. Spire just now starting, so that's Sair. I was thinking should be able to rack up multiple Overlord kills, but looking at the map, I mean, there's only one, and it's just outside the 3rd base of QiaoGeGe. The rest of the Overlords are really up against the wall on the right side of the map. We do have 2 Zealots moving across. However, remember, there's still 6 Lings for Sziky, now 8 Lings, and they have speed. So I don't think these Zealots are really going to get anything done. And look at that cutoff. You are not getting behind the minerals, sir. Oh, he does still.
Great, good focusing there from QiaoGeGe, able to focus down the right Lings to make space. But still, I mean, no drone damage. That's really all you care about as Zerg here. So Sziky has done exactly what he needs to do to, defend those Zealots relatively easily. I think that was great here for Sziky, actually.
Yeah, and I saw at the 3rd base he was droning, so he didn't build any excess Lings. He now has built a few more Lings, because I actually don't think he saw the 3rd Zealot move out, but he may have guessed that a 3rd one got sent out. And now it gets shown at the 3rd base, and this time around the Zealot might actually get a drone kill, but you can see Sziky with the good micro. He is scrambling to get his Lings back, but he does lose one.
I was going to say, no way does Sziky let him get a drone here, but I would have jinxed him. So 1 drone, unfortunately, does go down. Still, though, this entire game, only a single drone falling. Not the biggest of deals here for Sziky. But actually, I'm saying that, and more Zealot pressure. This is kind of an awkward timing here from QiaoGeGe.
Yeah, Qiao making it weird. He's got a Zealot at the Nat, got a Zealot at the 3rd base. Now that is an amazing surrounding. He gets almost every single Ling on top of that Zealot, and he traded very well there. Zealot gonna try and get a drone kill, but this time not able to find one, but goes back into that sweet spot. Don't think he's going to win this. I think the Lings will reign supreme again, but it forces out a Sunken already.
Yeah, you know what? Zyky's just saying enough of these little games. Let's go ahead, get a sunken at each base, or at least at the each base, and just use that to fend off any potential zealot, or DT pressure from now on. He's gonna need him anyway. QiaoGeGe obviously looking for a pretty standard zealot Corsair timing. We're seeing 2 Corsairs already built at the moment. Meanwhile, Zyky does have that Spire up. We've already seen Scourge in production. This is a player who loves his Mutalisks, Zerg vs Protoss, and will take advantage of any opportunity available. You do not want to cut Corsair against this guy. So looks like he's going to finish up that drone production for the natural and the third. Actually, it looks like he's made away with a Lings here. I'm a little surprised by this.
What's your impression of the state of the game for Zyky? Because I'm looking at this, and I saw his evolution chamber just come up at his 3rd base. A 5th hatch just completed. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, isn't this late? This feels a little slow, actually. As a non-Protoss and non-Zerg player, to me, it looks like Protoss is in a bit of advantage, is he not?
I would say so. I think the +1 on the Evo is definitely a little late. I was assuming this was going to be Muta, to be honest with you. Muta into Hydra, but even then, you want to get the Evo early enough that it's not going to delay your upgrades. But this is actually a Hydra production here for Zyky. Still, he's banked up 600 gas despite the Hydra production, despite the upgrades. So, the Muta switch option is available, but I don't mind QiaoGeGe's position right now, just based purely on upgrades. And I say that, and a High Templar gets picked off for free here, actually going in for a second.
Oh my gosh. Unreal. He just sees them, and he's like, you know what? I can get those. He got 2 of them for like 10 lings. That is mega worth. He got 1 of them that was banking energy for a while, so that's a massive pick off. And Zyky, I think after picking off those 2 Templars, he's decided, well, I probably don't even need the Muta switch anymore because half of the storms are already gone. So he's just going to save that gas and probably just go into more Hydras, maybe faster Lurkers.
I mean, that's exactly what we're seeing here. More and more Hydras being produced, more drones being produced, 6th hatchery underway, 3rd gas already completed. But we're actually seeing QiaoGeGe try to get ahead of tech as well. We're seeing that Robo go up relatively quickly. It's completed here at the 930 mark. Plenty of gateways. What is that, 8 gate? Yeah. And man, he is also, I mean, honestly, in a very good position in this game.
Yeah, in other PvC games, I think who instantly came to mind was Boa. Boa was really skipping the Observer for a long time, but this build from Qiao looks more like I remember in ZVP, which is it's going to be about an 11-minute Observer timing with Zealots, with Templars. But one thing that I don't see yet is I still don't see any goons anywhere. I also didn't notice that the Cybernetics was getting range upgrades. We do have a move out of Hydras and Zealots, and there's just way too many Hydras. These Hydra, or way too many Zealots. These Hydras gotta run, man. I don't think he can trade effectively here.
Yeah, this is kind of awkward. But he still does trade effectively.
Oh my god.
That's so many Lurkers.
Yeah, huge Lurker morph, and this is a danger. Oh my god. I don't know about this. I mean, think about it. Protoss lost both their Templars. He's not out on the map. He doesn't know exactly what Zerg is doing, and he just feels like he can already take a 3rd base. I guess now that goons are being pumped out, and he does have 8 gates, we're going to go from 0 goons up to 16 in just a second. But if those Lurkers get into position, this is a really dangerous position for Protoss right now.
I mean, he's pulling back to the right area, though. There's a chance that Zyky doesn't even scout that 3rd, and it's allowed to get up, get cannons at it. So I don't mind it as much. But yeah, it's looking like Zyky is definitely in the dominant position here. Hobbs gets focused down. There's no sight here. This is going to be an issue.
Protoss doesn't have Comsat?
No, Protoss doesn't have Comsat, unfortunately.
They got all that technology and they don't got Comsat? Oh, no, that's unfortunate for Protoss. This is the one thing I hate about playing Protoss versus Zerg is because your only detection is Observer, you lose that, and all of a sudden everything is just stalled forever. I mean, you can look at it. Qiao wanted to get out on the map, and now he can't do anything.
You know it's not stalled, though? That 3rd that was just allowed to get up here. Oh man, little bit of a blunder because I obviously if Sziky knew that is a dead third, 2 cannons at it, goodbye. You could kill that with 5 Hydralisks. But as is, it looks like QiaoGeGe going to be able to mine that third base and starting to feel confident enough to pressure. But Sziky, as always, in perfect position here, taking advantage of that high ground between base to base. Plenty of lurkers already produced here. And this is going to be a daunting task for QiaoGeGe to push up into.
Yeah, and Sziky is really, really good at repositioning his units. So even though we see, you know, a billion lurkers here, if he detects that, hey, Protoss is moving towards the middle, towards the right side, those lurkers will be repositioned in an instant. I like how Chao has branched off even just 4 zealots to try and harass mid-right. I didn't see much defense over there. Now that's a lot of lurkers, Machine. We're approaching almost 20 lurkers, in fact. That's... Is that too many? What's the number of lurkers that you actually think Zerg is looking to get?
I don't actually. I'm one of those that I don't think there is too many.
Okay.
I know plenty of Zergs like to just spend, you know, get to a certain point, use like mainly Zergling to be a little more supply efficient, not waste that gas. But there's no efficient way for Protoss to engage into lurker fields, man. Like once they are set up and those lurkers are shooting, it is just a problem. So I think what Sziky's doing here is great, honestly. Now, what happens sometimes is if you have a big advantage as Zerg and you produce too many lurkers, then it's tough to engage, right? Lurkers are best once they're currently like set up. They are just incredible defensive units for Zerg, but so it's hard to push advantages if you make too many lurkers sometimes. But you know, still, I almost don't think you can overmake them.
Okay, well, he's got a ton, but Chao, because he's able to hold the line there, well, he felt safe to take a 4th base. So actually Protoss is even in bases, and unlike in other games where I see Sziky play Zerg versus Protoss, these Storms are really doing work versus these Hydras. However, not paying attention is Chao. He takes a lot of damage on the Goons, but the Storms even up the trade there. And now we actually have Chao going for it. I don't think he realized there's literally 15 lurkers in position. Look at everything get melted except for the Goons.
He can't know. Look how far back the Observer is. He really has no clue what he's engaging into here. And I think this is going to prompt a retreat. There's just no way you're breaking this many lurkers on high ground. And yep, Sziky has done it. Picked off the next obs as well. Lurkers going to start pushing forward here, and he might be able to just lock Chao in his main now.
Yeah, he lost his entire front line. You can see Zealots finally coming in to help support the Goons, but he lost every Templar also. So that puts Chao back into the Stone Age. Supplies are even 130 to 130. And I saw Queen's Nest, you know, technically didn't build, but I'm sure Sziky insta-rebuilt in there. You can see it now. So Hive is coming up. So losing that front line and all those Templars, I mean, that's a huge pickoff because all the heavy upgrades of Zerg is going to be kicking in. Adrenaline, Defilers, +3. I mean, you got to have a lot of Storm to start dealing with that.
I mean, Chao's at least created enough space to take this 4th base, is now mining on 4 gas, somehow keeping up in supply, you know, by about 10 supply or so. But this is still a lot of lurkers here. And actually, Chao picking off some free lurkers.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be much support for the lurkers anymore, at least not right now. So the Goons will trade effectively here. Sziky is more prioritizing taking the map at this moment. You can see he's starting to take bottom right. So trade's not going in his favor right now, but that's another good Goon pickoff. Even forces an Archon Morph. I would call that a decent victory for him, and instantly into some more lurkers.
Jeez. I mean, the one thing Sziky has been doing an excellent job of this game textbook is just engaging with only a group of Hydras constantly, forcing out Storms. You know, we've never seen QiaoGeGe have more than 2 or 3 Templar at any one time. And look at this, once again, no more Storms after this one. It's just 3 Dragoons and a bunch of Zealots, which look great, but there's no way they're engaging that lurker field. Okay, never mind. Jeez, that is a lot more Templar now. 4th base obviously kicking in here.
Yeah, but those lurkers are kicking in, man. Every time I see these Zealots move out, I mean, they aren't long for this world. You're going to watch about 4 of them die, I think, in one more volley. But these storms are on point now. Now he's kind of pushing back the Zerg with all these storms on top of the lurkers. But there's just nonstop reinforcements to this position. I mean, even drones are there. So I guess the rally point is set to just, hey, if I hold this high ground, I'm just going to trade mega effectively. And if Protoss ever moves to the center, you know, I can insta-counter the force. So this is high priority. And right now, Sziky's trading more effective than Qiao. Actually, he thinks he's won the battle, so he's going to leap a little bit forward with these lurkers.
Yeah, I mean, Sziky looking very confident here, and why not? Like you said, this is just the perfect engagement point. It's Zerg getting to utilize high ground versus Dragoons. Like, was always just going to go well here for Sziky. I'm surprised that we're not seeing QiaoGeGe try to move around to the center of the map. There's just been, it's like man toss, right? It's like Stork. Like we're just watching a Protoss have like the Civil War style reenactment. Okay, this is the point where we're fighting for. Like, all right, all gateways are rallied. Like, let's see who can do this. But I don't know if you want to play that game with Sziky.
Well, I'm just waiting for the Defiler, because I think if the Defiler comes, this game ends. I mean, there's no counter to it. We've used all our Storm. Even if we rebuild Templars, there's not going to be very many. And nothing really can hit under the swarm except for Zealots, which are going to get chewed up by those 100 lurkers that we already have. And we see, finally, Qiao has moved towards the center. It went undetected right now, but it leaves his fourth base vulnerable. The Ling spot it. Wouldn't be surprised if Sziky instantly goes to top left.
He got one of the obs. Yeah, you called it. Oh, but we do have 2 Templar. This is bait.
I think Sziky is too good for that to fall into the bait, so he just repositions the lurkers into more forward position. But okay, this was an overextension.
Yeah, a little bit of an overextension. It makes sure the army is here, though, and bottom right is still being secured. So it at least, I don't know, it did something. He got a Templar, dude. But yeah, this is still not the best trade. At least bottom right's still up and mining, you know?
Yeah, Sziky just has insane eco, and there we go. I was waiting for the Defilers, and there it is. And I just don't think you're going to be able to deal with this. Yes, he has Storm, but he has 2 of them, and that's it. In Dark Swarm, I mean, he's got unlimited Dark Swarm. So we've got the Cloud come in. Oh, if he focuses down the Templar, he got the one that had the energy. The Zealots, of course, can hit under Dark Swarm, so he's not going to be able to push through and break it right now. But this is just such a huge threat to Qiao that he really can't move. But as I say that, he is moving towards the center, and he is taking a base at bottom left.
I think he blocked that Nexus bottom left, by the way. But yeah, man, this is looking like it's a little nuts. Oh, maybe you can actually. Looks like he's going to reposition and try to pressure mid-right, though. At the same time, 4 Lings trying to pressure bottom left, preventing any, cannons from getting up, but I think the cannons will just barely survive that. Here we go, Qiao moving around towards the top of the base. Swarm going down, though. This is going to buy a lot of time here. It actually looks like a plague going to go down on the meat of this army. So great, very well done here from Sziky. And
I think this is just going to get massacred, but maybe there is enough AoE with Qiao's army to deal with the Lings. He does have 4 Archons. He does have like 4 Templars left over. So he does push, or Sziky does push this back, but Lurker's going to try and knock down bottom left, but the 3 cannons, way too strong for now. And that's an amazing storm. Hits 3 Lurkers. And what was near even supply a moment ago, now it's a 50 supply lead for Qiao right now.
Yeah, I'm very surprised by that. It seems like somehow Qiao's getting just efficient enough trades to stay in this one. At the same time, I swear, he's blocked that Nexus bottom left. We're still not seeing a Nexus go down. So if he doesn't get another base here soon, Sziky Eco is just going to just explode out of control here.
Yeah, and this may be the contain that Sziky was trying to set up. He catches Templars out of position. Remember, there's still Dark Swarm here, and there is one of them. He's going to get on top of the natural. And look at this. Qiao was headed to bottom right. He realizes he's about to get busted, so he has to turn around, which now allows Sziky to get onto, what, 6 ping?
All the cannons, plenty of Templar going down. And yeah, he's going to secure bottom right. At the same time, Qiao does not have a Nexus down bottom left. I mean, this is just... Okay, finally able to kill off that pylon, put down that Nexus bottom left, so at least he's got an out here. But things are looking great for Sziky.
Yeah, the army of Protoss still is very fearsome, though. I saw that he's starting to get plasma shield upgrades. But Sziky on 6 bases, and this is Zerg, they insta have a massive army, so bottom left is going to get denied, I think. And Chao's in just a really weird spot. He has to save bottom left, because actually he's about to be mined out in his main mat 3rd base, so he's going to be back down to 1 base mining, whereas Sziky is probably technically still on 4 bases, and he kills all the probes during the transfer. So that puts Chao and kind of in he kind of just has to go for the victory right now.
Yeah, this is do or die scenario here for Chao. Looks like lurkers are rallied back towards top right though. Nidus is up. Ooh, nice storm onto 2 lurkers though for Chao. Things are looking scary here for Sziky actually, but we're seeing a lot of red start to flood across the map here.
Dude, there's so many lurkers, there's so many wings. It's just he's still got defilers, he's got 10 hatch production, he's got big eco because every time we saw some units get rallied to mid left, there were also drones mixed in. So Sziky's drone count must be hella healthy right now, maybe around like 60 or 70. That's a decent plague, but he did hold his natural, has not been breached. So really good hold there, but supplies still heavily in favor of Chao somehow.
Yeah, I'm very surprised.
What?
I mean, he pretty much killed off bottom left. Oof.
Yeah, it's not dead though, and if it's not dead, that means that base can get up and running at some point, and Chao has a decent bank. If he spams, 5-6 cannons, puts a Reaver or some Storm there, he will be able to hold it. So Sziky, even though he technically did bust bottom left, doesn't actually finish the job, and we've got a big Protoss army moving towards bottom right, and it's gone. Okay, it has been detected by that Overlord, but Sziky looks slow on the gun to get into position.
I mean,
Templars.
It's what he's known for. Yeah, getting a few free Templars bottom right. Ooh, 3 lurkers with no obs in position. So honestly, QiaoGeGe's taking some unnecessary damage here, and we're seeing the flood of red move across the map now for Sziky.
This is so much AoE. I think actually Chao did it. He has so much AoE here. Look how many Archons there are also. So they're going to chew through links. Those lurkers are all clumped up. So they're eating massive storms. Half of them already been eliminated. A Dark Storm comes down, but it's not helping him at all. That base is dead. And this could be just too much Protoss right now. Critical mass has been reached for Protoss, whereas Zerg, at 110, I don't know if this is really what you need, or the amount you need to actually stop an army like this. If he was 130 or 140, maybe, but those lurkers on the ramp clutching it so hard right now.
Yeah, they're really preventing that bottom right base from dying. And I mean, look, Sziky's still technically mining on a couple bases. Yes, Chao has made the space to secure his own 2 bases bottom left, but they're kind of exposed. I feel like there's a small window here for Sziky to still get it done.
Oh my gosh. The supplies are just so heavily favored in Chao that I think he's done it in terms of stabilizing his bottom left. He's still got those Archons left over. He's got a massive probe transfer. I don't think he realizes that he still has that base at bottom left technically still going, just now putting cannons and pylons up. Lings are going to finish this off, I'm sure, but Sziky unaware that the 5th base is still up at the 3rd base on the left side.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be painful. This is really the base that's kind of keeping Chao in it, and actually with the advantage here. Oh no, Sziky forced to tap out. GG has been called. Man, Sziky, that was the Sziky show at the start, man. I mean, he was in fantastic position, had control of that high ground, but man, QiaoGeGe just kind of stuck in it and started taking the right fights, and he walks away with a big victory for game 1.
Yeah, once Sziky got to like even supply around 130, I'm like, oh no, I've seen this enough times to know that Protoss is just going to have such a struggle ever breaking, ever getting a 3rd base. But Chao did a really good job with all of his storms and also keeping the Archons alive. I think that was the key thing, is near the end, he just had like 5, 6, 7 Archons. They just murdered all the Lings, and slowly but surely, Sziky crumbled apart, but that was impressive because Sziky had massive eco. He had like 10 hatches, and Chao still brought it to him.
Yeah, man, massive eco. He like executed that 6 hatch opener very well at the start. Great, like, I guess job like focusing that the majority of the fights for that high ground in between their bases, right? He got there first, he got set up, and it just felt like there was almost nothing Qiao could do early on to take efficient fights. But yeah, man, Qiao just kind of turning it around there and did a great job there towards the end. But still, just an incredible Zerg vs Protoss from both of our players here. Map 2 going to be Nemesis. Kind of an interesting pick. I feel like this is one of the maps we see the least of in this event, but obviously Ziky's got some plans here for it. So yeah, what do you think of that?
Well, my initial thought was, has Zerg even won on this map, even one game yet versus Protoss? Because Raz went 2-0. I think we saw another Protoss win on this map also, and so I think it's going to be tough. And Sziky desperately needs a win here because, like I said, he's near the bottom of the bracket. So let's get into game 2 and potentially our final game of the series between Qiao and Sziky.
And spawning top left as the red Zerg from Hungary, it is Sziky.
And in the bottom right, looking to close it out, it is Qiao. Now, do you got this map vetoed, Machine? Are you a Nemesis player?
I don't. Yeah, I'm a Nemesis player for sure. I don't ever hit it. I'll tell you that. But
you don't ever get games on here?
Never, man. Almost never. Normally when I do, it's definitely either Zerg vs Protoss or Zerg vs Zerg. Never Zerg vs Terran. Terran players definitely all veto this map. But yeah, it's I think it's fine. You know, I don't think a lot of Protoss or Zergs quite have the map figured out, which is why I think it's pretty interesting, and it's played a little different than a lot of the other maps. So that's why I still keep it in the rotation, just because the games are always a little different, a little you know, unique. But we're already seeing a 9 pull here out of Sziky. Once again, this has kind of just been his patented build. Still no Forge from QiaoGeGe here. Is this going to be a Nexus first?
This is Nexus first. This is too late for it to be a... Oh my god. So this is a gift for Sziky. He was gifted probably a win, I guess technically. Qiao could hold this, but he's going to have to pull something out of a hat because this is near impossible to hold. If that's a gate, this is 100% over.
What if Sziky made 3 drones right now?
Well, if he sees a Forge and a Nexus first and builds 3 drones, I want to play this guy in BSL. Because I'll 14 command center him with no racks. If I know you're going to build drones and do a scout in 14 CC.
Unfortunately, he didn't pull a machine here. It's a 9 pull into 6 lings. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe Qiao's just got like boxer-like probe control here, you know? Or you ever seen like the AI games?
Oh, he's already mad.
He's not happy about this one. GG.
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 Well, yeah, I don't know what to say about that one, man. Flawless execution from Sziky there. Really showcasing that early Zergling versus probe control, you know?
Is 9 pull a common build on there? Because maybe he just runs into 12 Nexus all the time and he's thinking like, well, okay, I'm just going to 9 pull it, but I don't know.
My thoughts as a Zerg is like, there's obviously eggs and assimilators everywhere on that map, right? So like more so than other maps, there's at least utility if you have some extra Zerglings around early to either lock bases off, open bases up. So I think he was going 9 pull. Obviously, when you go 9 pull, you'd always hope that your opponent goes Nexus first, but I think he was probably expecting a Forge and still just, you know, got away with a pretty free win there. So, yeah, what can you say, man? That's the risk of going Nexus first. You know, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Sziky loves his 9 pools, so, you know, maybe not the right player to Nexus first against, but who knows? Maybe, I mean, that's just how it works out sometimes, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate for Qiao that Sziky, I think 9 pulled 2 games in a row. So let's get into game 3 now. It is Silford. It's Qiao's pick. So let's see who's going to come out of this series on top. Will it be Qiao or Sziky? And
spawning 12 o'clock position on Silford as the blue Protoss from China. It is QiaoGeGe.
Yep, and in the bottom right with the flawless 9 pool, as Machine says, it is Sziky.
I said flawless Zergling versus probe control, I think.
Oh, okay.
But,
My bad.
He's practiced it. He goes into micro maps and he's like, all right, you control 12 probes. I'll just have these 6 Zerglings, you know? Spent years doing that.
Well, he made it look easy. He made Xiao so tilted that, what did he hit? He hit enter in the bracket.
Back bracket, close bracket.
You only do that when you're slamming the enter key, right? You're just like, just hit your hand on that section of the keyboard. So, you know Xiao's not happy. And I think Xiao's going to take his anger out on Sziky by going for a 9 gate.
Okay, I like it here, right? It kind of gives you plenty of scouting. Like, you can kind of create some space with it. Silford, a map that I feel like 973 is so common on. It's very difficult for Protoss to kind of stop, so he's going to need some kind of vision this game in particular, unlike game number 1. You know, like, you know how you never sent a second probe out? I think you have to on Silford because 973 is just so strong here.
Yeah, well, this is something that I learned by doing ASL with Scan. Did you know cannons have like slightly longer range when they're vertical as opposed to horizontal?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because you can never kill the freaking forge.
Yeah. So actually, after Scan pointed it out, it's like, wow. I guess technically I haven't seen a 973 into like top middle of Silford in a really long time. So Xiao already got a really good spot. Now this probe is doing a really good job of denying the hatch. However, the drone's done an equally good job to damage the probe really heavily. And that's a good cancel. Another good cancel.
Another good cancel.
Another good cancel.
So annoying for Zerg. Oh, okay, he gets it down. Ugh, man. Yeah, that's annoying though. And we already see Zealot out here. Only 4 lings from Sziky, taking advantage of that early. Oh, never mind. I lied. 6.
Yeah, he did, I guess. Well, he got the scout off, so he saw that it's gateway first. He doesn't want to risk, you know, okay, undercutting lings and then getting countered, and, you know, you just barely don't have critical mass to deal with the Zealots. And we do have a 3rd base already going up for Sziky. It's on the high ground over there, and not really unusual, but something to point out is that 3rd base does have a gas. So he will have 3 gas available to him as opposed to, you know, taking that mineral only, which he could have at bottom middle also.
I think Ziky's the kind of Zerg that really does try to aim for those 3rd gases as quickly as possible. His comfortable play seems to always be just that 6 gate or 6 hatch opener into like a 3rd gas. He transitions with it so well. So I think he's doing a good job kind of playing to his strengths here. 1 ling gets in though after pretty even trade, I'd say there.
Yeah.
Scouting.
Yeah, that did look like a good surround for Sziky, but with the 3rd Zealot popping out, not able to get as many into the main as he was hoping for. But of course, getting 1 in is still annoying. We know that Sziky doesn't have, you know, speed coming, so it is not going to be a ling that survives forever. I'm sure it will get taken down eventually by just probes. But we do have a 2 Zealot move out, and this is going to force some ling. Okay, some lings have already been built, but if he had 3 Zealots that moved out and he knew about bottom left, that would actually be a scary amount of Zealots, because he could hold the ramp with 2 and have 1 just, you know, barrel down on that hatchery. But 2, I don't think this is going to get much done.
No, already seeing the 8 lings completed here from Sziky. Sziky not one to skimp on Zergling production. Still, actually, some pretty good shots going down from QiaoGeGe here. Really maximizing the efficiency of these early Zealots, but at the same time, I mean, looks like, oh, actually, Sziky forced to back up there. Quite a few of those Zerglings are in the red. Wow, Xiao not mining the gas in his main quite yet, just started to. So this is actually kind of a big advantage here, it looks like, for Sziky. I think, I can't believe that Xiao's just now mining at the natural. It's,
yeah. I mean, that one ling may have done more damage than I was expecting. Lair should be almost done for Sziky if it's not done yet. So Spire will be way ahead of the Corsair timing compared to last game, and we may actually have some mutas pop out this time around. The Zealot does get intercepted before he can confirm the third base. And look at that drone range, man. I thought they only have one range. How are they hitting that Zealot without getting hit? Oh my god.
Wow. Perfect control.
Just
and
crazy.
another Zealot coming in here. Gonna try to get on this mineral line, but yeah, he's not gonna be able to. Yeah, just insane control here we're seeing out of Sziky. This
denied. He is not going to get any hits onto any of those drones. And another Zealot got sent out. So we've got a ton of Zealots that were sent across the map, did no damage. The Ling is still alive.
Ooh, he could have popped that. Shoot. Still, yeah, causing so much, I mean, distraction here for QiaoGeGe.
Yeah, how is this Ling still alive, man? Like, there were Lings, or there were Zealots across the map that he microed. Think about that. He was drone microing versus Zealots, 3 drones that he microed, and that Ling's still alive? I don't know how he can possibly have that still going.
Yeah, man, I really have no idea. Just incredible multitasking. It's still alive. It's actually still alive.
Oh,
I jinxed it. First Corsair out, though, I believe, from QiaoGeGe here. Spire done, though, for Sziky. We're seeing about a 10 supply differential between these two. 4th hatchery with a 5th one likely on the way here shortly for Sziky.
Yeah, I was thinking what could possibly be mutas, but he doesn't have the gas to hit the sweet spot of 5 mutas to one-shot those probes at the natural. So at least for now, those are not going to be mutas. We just have Scourge to prevent Corsairs from dealing any damage. We've got a cannon going up in the main and in the natural. That's kind of expensive to be building right now, because you can see Qiao doesn't even have a second gate or 3rd or 4th gate. I mean, they just now completed, so it's finally going to start kicking in, but he has almost nothing on the ground. I mean, look, he has 3 Zealots. That's it.
Yeah, I feel like he was trying to send out a lot of those early Zealots just to kind of create some space, right? Sziky was putting so much pressure on him, he needed to just alleviate some of it. And, you know, as a result, he doesn't have much to show for it so far.
Yeah,
Corsair gonna scout the main. Let's see the Spire.
He is going to see that, okay, this guy's mining double gas. I didn't see a Hydrogen anywhere, so this may be a muta switch. I didn't see a Hydrogen at the 3rd base either. No evolution chamber either. So we could actually see mutas flood out in just a second. He does have 3 gas coming up, and he knows that the Stargate was not blinking for a while, actually, because Scourge were just hovering in that position. And I think Chao's aware of that too, because he's putting down 2 more cannons.
Yeah, we're seeing gas get spent, so I think the muta production has started. I think you're absolutely right here. Still, that is a very fast 3rd gas. You know, this anytime you get such a fast 3rd gas, though, I mean, it does hinder your economy at your 3rd. We're not seeing many drones on minerals for Sziky, so this is a big committal from Sziky. These mutas have to get some damage done.
Well, speaking of has to get some damage done, we have another Zealot move out. And if these Zealots don't do any damage, I don't know if Qiao can recover, because this would be upwards of something like 15 Zealots that have done literally nothing. I don't think we've killed a single drone. I think all he's gotten is Lings, and he's gonna lose these 2 Zealots also. I mean, one of them almost died just flat out to the Sunken. Okay, maybe he can get something done now with 2 Zealots in the main, but one of them's already heavily damaged. He gets 1, but there's now mutas trying to harass Chao's main.
Still, this Zealot going to kind of throw him off here for a bit, it looks like. And that was a 40 HP Zealot in the main, in the mineral line. Oh, looks like he's barely going to get out. There we go.
Yep, he gets knocked down, and we've got a DT moving across the map, but Overlord already in position. Okay, that would be great if the Archon can... Oh! He needs 1 more hit to obliterate 8 Scourge. That would be a massive pickoff.
Yeah, it would have been huge. I mean, Sziky's going to need those Scourge to take out the Corsairs that are being produced, but man, if that 1 Archon was able to just clear those, that would be so big. Looks like he will get an Overlord, though.
Yeah, he will get that, but he still needs more than just an Overlord. I mean, this is 3 base Zerg that's gone unhindered for now 10 minutes into the game. I love the Sunken placement, the SimCity at bottom left. I don't think this could ever get busted, and you can see Qiao instantly turns around. Luckily for Qiao right now, at this very instant, Zyke's supply blocked, but it doesn't seem like he really has critical mass to attack anywhere. We've got Scourge and Muta positioning on the third base. Is going to knock down the probe to prevent this mineral only from getting up. And we do have Corsairs trying to come support this mineral line, but there's so many Scourge here.
Yeah, that's plenty of Scourge. I mean, they're not even worried about the cannons. That's kind of crazy to me at this point. Eventually, he is forced to pull the Scourge back. Still has plenty of Scourge to take these 3 Corsair out. And that is a lot of probe damage.
Yeah, that did way more damage than I was expecting. For some reason, I thought the Mutas would be scared of that single cannon, but Sziky definitely not scared at all. Picks off another probe. The Corsairs move out slightly, but don't get picked off. Another probe's going to die. The Scourge is going to die, but he has done good economic damage to Qiao, and supplies reflect that. It's 103 to 96. This is really well done from Sziky. The Templars are worried that they might storm their own probe, so you can see he's hesitant to use them, and that just allows him to rack up even more probe kills.
Yeah, this has been so many probe kills here for Sziky, in honestly not a super convenient position, right? I mean, every single Corsair has been kept alive this whole time. There has been storms, there's Dragoons out on the map, so I mean, really impressive at how well Sziky was able to accomplish damage there.
DT gets 2 Hydra kills before falling, and it really didn't get the damage that he was looking to get, but I mean, at least it did get 2 Hydras, which is, it is a meaningful trade for him, and we do have a move out. Now, these Templars, they do have energy. They should have 4 storms available. There's no lurkers here, so if there's any miss micro of the Hydras, all of a sudden it could heavily swing in Qiao's favor. This is a lot of Zealots and a lot of Goons to buffer too. However, Sziky's whooping around, doing what I've seen him do in so many games on Silford. He's going to attempt to come for a 360 flank. He wants to catch these straggler Templars. Does get one of them, but he takes a lot of damage from the Corsairs actually. Doesn't actually get a second Templar kill until just now, but he loses every single Muta in that exchange.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best he's got to hope for. He's got to try to reduce the storms, clear as many storms as possible so he can fight this with Hydra straight up. Here we go. Third Sunken just finishing up here. Looks like Sziky coming in for a flank, but a good storm goes down on a group of Hydralisks there. Oh. Lurker's morphing at the third, though, and it looks like at the natural. There's no obs, so I think he's done it.
Yeah, there's no obs. Qiao needs to retreat right now. He's about to get sandwiched, and he's not retreating. He's just going to try and bust through with some goons and storm. I mean, he may be able to knock down hatches, but this army is trapped. The Lurkers know it, so they're moving in quickly. Does get all of the Zealots and all of the Templars, but not able to catch all the goons. So that was a good retreat, I guess, from Qiao. He does save the majority of his army. But behind this, what is Qiao doing? I don't see a Nexus anywhere. I don't see, a third base. I don't see, even more gates going down, like 10 gate or something, reminiscent to some of Bonyth's game. He's got to do something, and now he's finally going to start putting his Nexus on that third low mineral, low gas base.
Yeah, we're still just witnessing just the eco damage from those Mutalisks here. Looks like Nexus going to be canceled by 6 Zerglings here. You never want to see that happen. And Qiao just in a very dire position now that things have finally shaken out.
Yeah, the Overlord spots the mid-right mineral only also, so he knows that base hasn't been taken at all. And I just realized Sziky's mineral only actually completed during all that. So Qiao not only doesn't bust the natural, he also doesn't prevent the 4th base. So this was a massive advantage for Sziky. He lost his Hydroden, which all that did was allow him to go into more drones. So now we've got a massive eco for Sziky, 4 bases versus just 2 base Protoss, and basically about mined out Protoss. So Qiao's got to do something here, otherwise he's in a world of hurt. But look how many Lurkers are already set up. Denied again.
Yeah, same thing. Small group of Lings going to cancel that mineral only. Looks like a third base at least going to be, produced here for QiaoGeGe, so he will be able to at some point get back into this one.
Oh my god.
But here we go.
So many lurker shots before the Zealots even got off a single swipe. So that was not the trade that Qiao was looking for. Look at all those Zealots. I mean, they're almost all without any shields at all. They're just going to get like 3 or 4 shotted by these lurker spines. Qiao, he's storming, but he doesn't have enough storms or enough goons to push through here, so I think he needs to just back off. And Sziky pounces on that straggler Templar, knocks another one down, and Sziky now has supply lead. Maybe he can get this hatch?
No. I mean, there's just too much Zerg here. It looks like. I mean, at this point, Sziky should almost be thinking 5th, maybe, trying to secure the other main, mid-left. But yeah, anytime you're this close in supply with Protoss, you're feeling great if you're Sziky here.
Yeah, I want to see either Sziky put down more hatches or put down Hive. Oh my god, how did that Zealot end up surviving? And there it is. There is Hive coming in. So we're going to have, Defilers, Adrenaline coming in pretty soon. And this is, I think, 8 hatch production. Tons of lurkers again, just like last game.
Yeah, tons and tons of eco here for Sziky. Looks like Lurker's going to start moving mid-left here. Looks like he's opted just to take the close center mid-base. Probably just because it's easier to control at the moment. He knows he's got map control. There's really no way Qiao can kind of fight his Lurker force at the moment.
Now, I don't know about this base at top left. Yes, it has a gas, but look how far away it is. I feel like if there's ever a need for Protoss to move all the way over there, that's going to leave their natural open, which could get, instantly contained by mass lurkers. So I don't know about this, but of course, if he does get that up and running, he's going to have more mineral income there compared to the mineral only at mid-right. He's also going to have a 4th gas, technically. But I think it's going to be really hard to stabilize that. We'll see what he can do, though. He still has a fearsome army patrolling back and forth through the center. Something that I've noticed that is not in his comp machine is there's no Archons this time around, just Templars.
Yeah, just Templars. I mean, no Archons, a lot of Dragoons. So for the moment, just against these lurkers, the Dragoons are going to be fine. But I don't know. At some point, once that Defiler tech is out, I think Qiao's going to be in trouble here.
Did you see Protoss upgrades also? It's 1-1.
No. Oh wow, 1-1. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
so when these Archons pop out, they're not even going to be able to one-shot links as they come in. So Adrenaline are still going to be quite effective, even if we do see a lot of Archons get pumped up. Protoss does see this 5th base at the left side, but obviously not able to do anything about this. But he did actually get top left up and running. I don't think Sziky has any idea that this base is taken. So that's great for Qiao right now, but Qiao is still down 40 supply. And Sziky's honestly approaching max. We may actually have an attempted bust here.
Yeah, it's as good a spot as any. It's Sziky's new base. If this gets up, he's in some serious trouble here. So he's got to at least attempt to prevent it. But Sziky being so efficient with those lurkers, with those Zerglings, actually sweeping around for a flank here with plenty of lurkers. I think he kind of wants to just try to trap Qiao.
Yeah, I think if he had just come on through that high ground, that would have been not cost effective at all, because you can see that choke is quite tiny. He had something like 7 Templars. So look at those storms. They are just wreaking havoc, but he doesn't have infinity of them. He's gonna run out eventually. Lurkers are gonna start chewing through these Zealots. Even though a lot of lurkers fall there, that was still a worthwhile trade for Sziky because he just has such massive econ. Here he comes. I can see +1 armor is kicked in, but that's a move command.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a move command there, but still, so many lurkers getting into position here for Sziky, and this is absolutely going to push off QiaoGeGe here.
Yeah, and he killed all the Templars, and now he can set up those lurkers outside of the 3rd base and cut off top left if it does get scouted. Those are fantastic storms. He's going to eliminate about 5 of the lurkers, but it's just endless Zerg. Look, more streaming to top left. Still 6 lurkers left over. Masslings coming in with Adrenaline. There's an Archon, but that's going to get popped in a second, I'm sure.
This is kind of a key position, right? He's right outside the ramp that Protoss needs from his rally to get down. So once this is closed off, top left is isolated. And yeah, GG is called there from QiaoGeGe. And it's going to be Sziky moving on with the victory after a pretty epic set between those two.
Yeah, I actually thought after game 1 that Qiao was gonna take it, because I thought Sziky had an advantage in that game when it was even at 130. but then he just played, or Qiao just played better throughout the mid and late game. So I actually thought going to Silford, okay, if we get into a normal state, I think Qiao's gonna take it. But what really did him in, it seemed, was those Zelts in the early game. They just did nothing. I mean, they did absolutely nothing. And how many probes do you think those mutas picked off? At least 10.
12, 10, 12, somewhere in that range. I mean, that's just that Sziky multitasking. And I couldn't even believe Sziky went in the first time. There's technically 3 cannons at that natural, Dragoons, Corsairs. He kept all the Corsairs alive somehow. But, I mean, he was able to just make the space he needed to kill off so many probes. And, I mean, just really put Qiao in a pretty dire situation there early on. So, yeah, well done, for Sziky. No surprise there. Such an incredible Zerg, and I'm really happy to see him, take such a strong set there.
Yeah, and he needed that win because, like I said, he was near the bottom. Qiao also needed the win there because he's also near the bottom. And actually, the 4 players at the bottom at 1-2 and 1-3 is Sziky, Qiao, Oya, and I couldn't believe this. You know who's at the actual bottom machine? It's Zhanhun. No. And I actually had him going out in like second or probably first out of the round of 8. So that's surprising. Yeah, that's really nuts. Now, you Sziky fans, don't go anywhere because we're going to have another set coming up in just a second. And you know what? It is actually going to be Sziky versus Zhanhun. So that's going to be very exciting. Don't go anywhere.